So, colleagues, you need to define the specificities, and then you have to share for the right partner. Please don't rely on the internet for partners, because there's a lot of companies that can really tell you a lot of stories, but when you look deep down, there's nothing. And a lot of African governments and even companies have been shafted based on that. The internet is very powerful. I'm sure you've all heard of 419. Yes, it's because of the internet, obviously. There are people gullible out there that believe what they read. Where we fall short is here. We don't prepare and even plan for negotiations. Whilst the other party is doing their homework on us, we don't. We take things for granted. I've always maintained that unless we start really planning, we will always fall short. If you don't do the planning, what you do is you go into negotiations from a weaker perspective, and then rather than negotiating, you start bargaining. And when you bargain, it's for short-term gain. It's not for long-term. When you negotiate, you are negotiating for long-term mutual benefit. And in most cases, when you are negotiating, colleagues, the price might even go up significantly. But in the short term, in the long term, you benefit. Now you have triple PFA that has the 90-10-80-20 rule, where price is such a weighting factor. For me, that is bargaining. You're already disqualifying a lot of the good suppliers and partners that you may have. And government needs to be bold to look at ways of trying to speed up these developmental objectives of South Africa. It's a virtuous cycle. You don't stop when you get a contract. You need to implement and monitor, and then obviously you go back, plan again, and then you engage. So halfway through, things might change. The specificities might change. You need to re-engage. It's critical, colleagues, you do that. Most negotiations are successful because they have the right lead negotiator. We go into negotiations with big players without having a lead negotiator. We assemble maybe 24, 48 hours before, just a phone call. Join me on this trip. It's an opportunity. And then what happens is when we get there, because we haven't done our homework, we are negotiating from a weak perspective. And then our mindset changes, we become bargainers. The team composition is very, very important. And then you really, for me, the key issues on both sides. You need to know what you want. You need to also know what the person wants. You need to know the challenges that the other party has, and also yours. You've got to do your homework, colleagues. We are not doing our homework. We are relying too much on the internet. One government minister asked me, so how do we change this if I want to do negotiation? And I told the minister that you need to visit the potential partners' customers. Get it from them. Don't just rely on what they've told you. Visit. We can all do presentations. They will come in, they will spill. The Americans are very good at that. Why don't you visit some of their customers to find out what is it really that they are? What do they offer? We don't do that. There's no budget, unfortunately, for that. They expect you to do all the desk research and then obviously come out with recommendations. And in most cases, it's not from you anyway. It's coming from legal or finance. So the numbers are very important, not the developmental aspects.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.